The G20 is one of the many highly sophisticated models in Glock's line of firearms. In this video, you will learn how to disassemble and reassemble the G20. First and foremost, always treat firearms as if they were loaded, so keep the muzzle pointed in a safe direction. Here we will handle the 5 major components of the G20 and not disassemble the entire weapon. First, remove the magazine by pressing down the magazine catch found on the left side of the receiver near where the thumb rests. This will release the magazine, allowing you to slide it out. Next, make sure there's no ammunition inside the barrel. To do this, keep the gun pointed in a safe direction, pull the slide backwards and hold, then look inside the barrel. Once you have verified there is no ammunition inside, pull the trigger. Dry firing typically is bad for a gun, but it won't be a problem for Glocks because of their quality manufacturing. In fact, pulling the trigger at this point is necessary for the following step. In the third step, you will remove the slide. Verify that the trigger is still in the pulled back position. If not, this step will be impossible. This is probably the hardest part in disassembling a Glock. There are 2 things you must do simultaneously to remove the slide. First, grip the gun in this fashion. All 4 fingers on top of the slide and the thumb wrapped around the grip. Note the 2 slide locks on either side of the gun. With your free hand, place a thumb on one side and a finger on the other. This next step is crucial. On the grip, press down on the slide with your fingers and pull backwards. Allow it to slide back about a ½ inch but no farther. If you pull too far, the slide will reset the trigger. Once you slide it back a ½ inch, apply forceful inward and downward pressure with your other hand on the slide locks, then guide the slide forward. If performed correctly, the slide will be released and move freely. If it doesn't work, repeat this step and remember to apply plenty of pressure on the slide locks. Once the slide is free, remove it from the receiver and set the receiver aside. The next step is to remove the recoil rod, which is found on the bottom of the slide. With a finger and thumb, grip both ends and squeeze the inner end of the recoil rod towards the outer, then pull the inner end away from the barrel and set it aside. The last step is to remove the barrel. First, pull the barrel outwards away from the slide until it stops, then push it farther forward into the opening it rests in, and finally outwards again to free it. The Glock is now disassembled. To reassemble the Glock, insert the barrel back into the larger opening on the slide's tip, push the back end inwards, then pull it backwards into place. Next, insert the recoil rod into the loop on the slide's tip, making sure the end without the hole faces in the direction of fire. Note the little steps on the bottom of the barrel. The back end of the recoil rod must rest in the cutout scoop. To make this happen, you must squeeze hard both ends of the recoil rod until it lines up with the scoop, then push towards the barrel to snap it in place. On the receiver, note the teeth sticking out on the top. Line those up with the inserts on the rear of the slide. Pull the slide back as far as it will go to snap the inner components in place. Insert the magazine, making sure the bullet count indicators are facing the rear. Note that there is only one way the magazine will fit in. Lastly, pull the slide back to lock it in place. You have reassembled the Glock.